Give it up for Chopper, everybody. Give it up for Chopper, make some noise!
Yes! Okay, legends, how we go? We're good? All right, before I say anything else, can I get a massive round of applause for MC tonight, Mr. Peter James? Yeah! Okay. Absolute fucking legend. All right, I had a very long conversation today with a total stranger. At about the 45-minute mark, I realised I hadn't said anything. And I thought, I reckon this guy's on meth. Yeah, the second giveaway is he had one of those little methy bodies that I'm quite jealous of. Also, he was a grown adult riding a BMX bike. Yeah, I think we can all agree that's pretty methy transport, you know? Somewhere out there, someone's little brother was like, oh, fucking bring it back, Daryl, you dog, you know? Anyway, recently one of my mates got a spa, and he was like, how good is that, Chopper? I got a spa. I'm like, no, that's fucking weird and gross. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, fuck, getting a spa, that's basically saying to the world, just being like, hey, do you and your wife want to come over and have a bath with me and my wife? That's fucking weird. That's only slightly less weird than being like, oi, do you and your wife want to come over and have a shower with me and my wife? Like, nothing sus, swimmers on, I'm not a total sex pest. You know, bottle of champagne, few laughs, 4 mates in the shower. What's wrong with that? It's fucking weird. What happens after that? Oh, maybe Mum will come over, dry us off and read us a story. And the thing that really gets me about a spa is after you've had a normal bath, what do? You get out, you pull the plug out and you drain that skanky, filthy water out, don't you? But after you've had a spa, you put the fucking lid on. Oh, like you're trying to make soup out of spilt beer and BO, just putting the lid on and letting it simmer down to some sort of bogan master stock. Next time you jump in there in your little Speedos like a dumpling, just absorbing all that flavour. Turning around wondering why you've got fucking tin in your armpits, you know? Oh, man. Rich people have weird hobbies, don't you reckon? Like big game hunting. Oh, look at me, I shot an elephant. Fuck, you must be a real sniper. What are you hunting next? A block of flats or a caravan? What are you... All right, this is a bit of a weird one. How many of you guys out there reckon that the people who make air conditioners are fucking monsters? A couple of people at the back. The rest of you need convincing. All right, I'll walk you through it. Earlier in the year, I was in Perth and it was too hot. I was in my apartment in Perth, right, where I was staying. I hadn't been there before. It was too hot. I looked over on the other side of the room, there was an air conditioner. I thought, fuck yeah, I'll wander over there, turn it on. Sweet. Walk across the room, get to the air conditioner. Turns out you can't turn it on at the unit. Because why would you make something good or useful? What you need is a remote control, right? Usually it's mounted on a little sleeve in the wall, so I'm looking around for this remote control. Can't see it anywhere. Turn around, it's back on the other side of the fucking apartment where I've just been. So as promised, pretty fucking remote, right? I go back to get it. I'm like, great, not only is this room too hot, now I'm doing laps of it like an idiot. This is going very well, right? Pull the little thing out of its sleeve, point it at the thing, boop, nothing happens. Boop. 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 I was like, fuck, great, I'm back here again. This is going wrong. Finally, I'm force-feeding this thing its own infrared signal. No, part of me's like, do you know what you could do? You could sticky tape the remote control to the air conditioner, or you could just put the buttons on in the fucking back. And finally, boop, something happens, but not cold air coming out. No, this time, just the fucking flaps open up. Just... I was like, if that's how you're going to cool me down, you better flap a lot fucking harder than that. So I'm sitting there, right, I'm looking at the remote control, right, it's got a button on and off. Hasn't done anything to help me up until this point. It's got 4 other buttons. Picture of the sun, picture of droplets, picture of snowflake, and 4 arrows going in a square. I was like, who made this thing? Ancient Egyptians? What's wrong with words? What am I supposed to get Indiana Jones in here with a Rosetta Stone to help me decode this shit? Fucking, not only is it too hot, now I've got to solve the puzzle to fucking cool it down. It's turned into some sort of Bikram escape room situation, right? So I'm there sweating, I'm trying to focus through it. I'm like, all right, fuck, focus, just solve the puzzle. What do we got? The sun. If I press the button with the sun on it, does that mean the air conditioner will recognise the presence of the sun and take appropriate countermeasures? Or is it going to start acting like the sun, just pumping fucking hot air in here? I don't know that. Droplets, what do droplets mean? Is it just going to start leaking wholesale everywhere? I don't fucking know. What do droplets mean? I don't know. I've been on Tinder, maybe Chisholm, I don't... There's a snowflake, I press that, some little lefty kid from Twitter comes out and goes, oh, you triggered me. There should be 4 buttons on an air conditioner remote control. Hotter, colder, little bit, and a fuckload. That's all you need. It's nice to be here in Sydney. I like it here in Sydney. I've been hanging out in Western Sydney a lot lately. I like it out there. It's multicultural out there. You know what I mean? It's multicultural as fuck. I reckon if you tried being racist in Western Sydney, you would be fucking exhausted. You're like, stop stealing out, go back to where you feel. Can't get to a mall. And the main way that people interact with each other in Western Sydney is mostly through road rage. You know what I mean? Someone drives past and like, fuck off and die. You're just like, hello, you know, you just get used to it. But I was driving around Western Sydney the other day and this guy cut me off in traffic. I was like, no, I'm not letting that happen. Fuck that. I decided I was going to pull up next to him at the next set of lights and give him a real fucking piece of my mind. So I swerve through traffic, you know, get to the lights, pull up next to him. I'm about to have a real go at this guy. And I look over and I noticed he's this African dude. Were you going, oh, then because you are profoundly racist or... Hear me out. I look over and I noticed he's this African dude. And my first thought was, fuck, give him a break. But then I thought, hang on, if I don't shout at this guy, that's treating him differently. Yeah, and that would be racist. So with great reluctance, but a sense of obligation, where'd you learn to drive? He said, Uganda. And I said, oh. I bet driving conditions are pretty different over there. And he said, yeah, it's taking me a while to get used to. And I said, stick with it. Anyway, I was having a banh mi today. We all know what a banh mi is, right? Even you? I was having a banh mi. I thought, do you know what? I reckon the Vietnam War would have easily been the most delicious. Yeah, don't get me wrong, they're all wars, none of them are great. You're always in someone else's country shooting at them. At least at the end of a long day of doing that in Vietnam, come home, banh mi. Probably the hardest part about being in the Vietnam War, I reckon, is to be out in the jungle, you know, and then you get a guy in your sights, and then you're like, fuck, what if he's the guy who makes my banh mi? Then I was thinking about some of the other wars and what you'd be eating. You know, World War II, spending a lot of time in France. You legend in the front row, have you eaten much French food?
Yes.
You have? It's pretty rich, isn't it? It's quite heavy. And after you've had a big French meal, you don't feel like doing much. Yeah, you certainly don't feel like repelling a Nazi invasion. And then when you look at what French people have for breakfast, you're like, fuck, of course you lost the war. Of course you lost every war. Fucking this is what French people have for breakfast. And this is the adults, right? They have a bowl of hot chocolate, like some sort of diabetic cat. And I can't overpronounce this enough, croissant. Right? Yeah, fuck, you can't win a war having hot chocolate and croissant for breakfast. It's insane. Especially when you compare it to what the Germans had for breakfast in World War II. And what the Germans had for breakfast in World War II was fucking methamphetamine. That's right, at the start of World War II, Nazi High Command gave out 35 million tablets of Pervitin, methamphetamine. They're like, there you go, Fritz, crush that up, snort it off the butt of your gun. Achtung! Yeah! Right? Half an hour later, the dude's got eyes like saucers. He's hurning across the fucking French countryside in a tank going 100 k's an hour, just being like, let's miss the size out of this Krieg, you know? There's some fucking SS dude next to him on his little brother's BMX bike, just like, But imagine if someone burst into this room right now, they just poof through those doors at the back, and just ran in and yelled out, oh my God, I just saw a fight between a man on methamphetamine and a man eating a... You would not bother asking who won, would you? Hey, you guys have been awesome. We've got a show tonight at 9. If not, have a fucking great life. Good night, cheers.